You're watching Disney Channel.
Nickelodeon.
Another year has flown by, and I'm hit with waves of nostalgia from those golden days of our childhood. Isn't it amazing how so many of us share similar memories from our youth, laughing at the same cartoons and singing along to the same theme songs? If you're a true 90s kid or even an 80s baby, you know the Magic Trio, or Quartet if you count MTV, of Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. From iconic shows like Boy Meets World to SpongeBob SquarePants and Ed, Edd n Eddy, these channels carve special spots in our hearts. Today, we'll be taking a trip down memory lane, diving into network market share, celebrating iconic shows, and debating the legacy of these powerhouse networks. Which network from your childhood truly dominated the 90s and early 2000s, and how have their iconic shows influenced the generations that followed? If you're enjoying the content so far, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell to get updates on our latest content. Okay, now let's take a trip down memory lane. Established in 1923, Disney has long been revered as the pioneer of animated entertainment. While it initially gained global acclaim with its enchanting princess movies and timeless fairy tales, it wasn't until the 1990s that Disney ventured beyond its castles and fairy dust, marking its territory in the expansive world of animated television. With the popularity of its animated features, Disney was poised to create a dominant presence on the small screen. Recognizing the growing appetite for kid-centric content, Nickelodeon emerged in 1979 as the first dedicated cable channel for children, presenting a formidable challenge to Disney. Unlike Disney, Nickelodeon combined animated cartoons with live-action sitcoms, offering a diverse slate of content for its young audience. Not to be left behind in its burgeoning race, Cartoon Network was introduced to viewers in 1992. I can remember when my sister and I stumbled upon Nickelodeon, having been devout Disney enthusiasts. We were channel surfing after an episode of Doug ended, searching for something other than the next show we weren't too keen on watching. That's when we discovered another channel dedicated to kids. Of course, there were other channels like PBS that served up shows like Arthur and Reading Rainbow, but for continuous, undisturbed, and sometimes even mindless entertainment, we turned to what we affectionately call the Holy Trinity. My sister, however, found herself gravitating back towards Disney. I often felt that Disney subtly catered more to girls, while Nickelodeon had a balanced appeal, and Cartoon Network, once it identified its groove, seemed to target boys. Regardless, these networks captured the hearts of their audiences and positioned themselves at the forefront of a golden era in television. From 1990 to 2005, the television landscape witnessed a significant evolution in children's programming, with Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network playing pivotal roles. During these years, each network carved out its own unique niche, but let's look at the numbers and trends that distinguish them. Nickelodeon led the pack in the early 90s with an average viewership that often surpassed its competitors. Shows like Rugrats and Hey Arnold became cultural touchstones. By the mid-90s, the channel captured about 20% of the child's demographic, making it a dominant force in children's entertainment industry. Disney Channel, while globally recognized for its film ventures, started to make inroads into the television segment with series like Lizzie McGuire and Kim Possible. By the early 2000s, the network reported an approximate 15% growth in viewership, especially among the preteens and teen audiences. Cartoon Network, although a late entrant, made its mark with innovative content. Shows like Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls brought a fresh style to animation. By 2000s, the network's viewership had grown by an impressive 25%, especially among the male demographic. Furthermore, with the introduction of Adult Swim in 2001, the network also catered to an older audience, adding to its appeal. Comparatively, while Nickelodeon maintained a consistent lead in the 90s, by the early 2000s, the gap began to narrow. Disney's strategic programming shifts and Cartoon Network's novel offerings created a more level playing field, making the early 2000s a truly competitive era for these titans of children's television. Delving into the flagship shows of each network, it becomes clear how they individually sculpted distinct experiences for a generation. The 90s gave us gems like Boy Meets World and Rugrats. The latter's success was monumental, inspiring movies, theme park attractions, and a spin-off show with our favorite characters in their teenage years. Boy Meets World saw its characters mature too.
You never give up on me. Never once. I'm not gonna forget you. You're the best person I know.
with fans accompanying Corey and friends to college, leading to the contemporary spinoff Girl Meets World. As the new millennium dawned, Nickelodeon hit a high note with SpongeBob SquarePants, the brainchild of marine science educator turned animator Steven Hillenburg. This show narrated the zany escapades of SpongeBob and his buddies in the mythical Bikini Bottom. Meanwhile, Disney pivoted towards live-action series, producing classics like Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, and Even Stevens, though their animated successes continued with Kim Possible and The Proud Family. Growing up, my taste veered towards Cartoon Network, especially as they rolled out shows that resonated with my age bracket. By the mid-2000s, the network broadened its horizons with Adult Swim and Toonami. Shows like Samurai Jack, Codename Kids Next Door, and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy showcased Cartoon Network's animation dominance. Their shift to Adult Swim and Toonami was strategic, catering to an aging audience. Post the regular cartoon fare, teens could immerse in edgier content like Home Movies, C-Lab 2021, The Venture Brothers, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. 2001 was pivotal for me as Cartoon Network introduced me to iconic animes like Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop, both celebrated names in anime circles. Toonami swiftly transformed into the go-to hub for youngsters eager to explore anime before it became mainstream. In reflecting upon this era of television, it's evident that these networks crafted more than just entertainment, they wove the fabric of our youth. Whether it's witnessing the growth of Corey in Boy Meets World, diving into the shenanigans of Bikini Bottom, or feeling the thrill of Cartoon Network's late-night programming, these channels curated defining moments for countless individuals. The evolution from the 90s classics to the dynamic offerings of the 2000s underlines the ingenuity and adaptability of these networks. While we reveled in the joyous antics of Rugrats and SpongeBob SquarePants, Cartoon Network catered to our maturing taste with Toonami and its array of iconic animes. As we navigate further into the digital age, let's not forget the golden era of television that shaped many of our fondest memories and played a pivotal role in shaping a generation's cultural landscape. But what are your thoughts? Reflecting on the evolution of children's television from the 90s to the early 2000s, which network do you believe had the most significant influence on your childhood? Let us know down in the comment section. Thanks for watching another episode of Critically Speaking. If you made it this far, we appreciate you sticking around and we appreciate the view. If you like this type of content, check out our other videos. Until next time, my friends. That's it for today's episode of Critically Speaking. Thanks for joining us as we explore the latest movies, games, and hot topics. Stay up to date with our latest content by hitting that notification bell. And if you enjoyed the show, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And as always, stay critical.